citizen.
Prison Break. Series premiere at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Tonight, no holds barred.
As long as I get the win, it don't matter what I got to do to do it.
Why cage fighting is becoming a more popular sport and what's being done to stop the violence.
Anytime a Category 5 hurricane comes through, it's scary.
Preparing for devastation. Thousands evacuate New Orleans as Hurricane Katrina speeds toward land. But first,
ripped my mirror off my bike and were hitting me with it. She was scratching my face.
A violent case of road rage. Only on 12, a motorcyclist tells his tale of surviving the attack on a local road, first on Fox. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hillary Hutchison.
And I'm Kevin Kawari. First on Fox tonight, a motorcyclist is telling a frightening tale of road rage. He says a woman driving a car hit him and then attacked him. She's now facing first-degree assault charges. The whole thing began on SR 14 and I-5 and ended with a collision on 4th Plain Boulevard. That's where KPTV's Jim Hyde is live tonight with a story you'll see only on 12. Jim?
Well, Kevin, the biker says he ended up sliding toward the Welcome to Washington sign with his 1,000cc motorcycle on top of him. His dispute with the woman driving the BMW went downhill after that.
She sped back up and kind of sideswiped me, and then my bike flew down with me on it about, I'd say, approximately 50 feet down a cliff, a little hill.
Brandon Brooks' face bears scratches from his assailant, holes in his shoes and clothing, in a nearly new bike, scraped and twisted. What began as a Saturday afternoon ride with 3 other bikers ended in first-degree assault. Brooks and some witnesses told Washington State troopers the driver of this white BMW hit him first with her car, and then her hands and the broken mirror. The car was driven by 46-year-old Twyla Lamb of Camas. She's in the Clark County Jail tonight. The bikers and the Beamer encountered each other first on SR 14. The driver's husband, John Lamb, says it was the motorcycles that started the problem. He says one of them sped by on the right, then broke off the car's mirror next to him on the passenger side. Lamb claims they were headed for Portland but turned north on I-5 to get the bikers' license numbers. Brooks says they were trying to get away from a dangerous driver.
She was probably mad about the speeds that we might have been driving, maybe. Is there anything?
Speeding down 14?
No. At that point, no. There was no way we could have been because she was blocking our path. Okay. She was in our path going this way, this way, this way.
Confrontation ended here at the 4th Plain off-ramp. Washington State troopers tell me that most of the witnesses tended to side with the bikers. Now, Twyla Lamb will get her day in court, probably in the morning, in Clark County Court. Reporting live here in Vancouver, Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
The teen accused of sexually abusing young girls at a Hillsborough 24-hour fitness daycare may be out of jail soon. 19-year-old Tyler Lupoli will be in court tomorrow for a release hearing. He's accused of molesting at least 2 girls and trying to assault 2 others. Lupoli says he's not guilty of the charges. He was originally arrested back in July. Since then, more victims have come forward. His trial is set for October 20th.
Well, tonight, Portland police are still looking for clues into a recent murder. A week ago, someone attacked Jeffrey Smith near Southwest Park and Stark Streets. When Smith went to police for help, he refused to tell them who beat him up. And over the week, Smith's condition worsened in the hospital, and he died without giving police any clues about the attack. Now police want to talk with anyone who knows about the attack, since the killer is still on the loose.
Hurricane Katrina is heading toward the Gulf Coast tonight. Right now, a live picture at conditions right now. As you can see, the wind is picking up in the Gulf Coast area as thousands of people continue to evacuate tonight, and local volunteers are heading out to do what they can. Members of the Red Cross from around the country, including right here in Portland, are in the Gulf Coast right now helping with storm preparations and evacuations. 2 volunteers from Portland headed there on Friday, and 1 from Salem left just this morning. And volunteers will likely be in high demand once the storm has passed to help clean up the damage.
Well, and right now, the predictions for New Orleans are not looking good. Storm Team 12 meteorologist Drew Jackson has been tracking Katrina all day. Drew, what's the latest?
Well, Kevin, those pictures we saw just a moment ago, as horrible as they looked, those folks still got a good 6 to 8 hours for conditions to keep getting worse, because it's going to be 6 to 8 hours before the eye of the storm actually makes landfall. All of this stuff that they're getting now is just the outer effects of it. You saw how bad the pictures were already. In fact, zooming in closer here on our pinpoint radar, you can see the embedded yellows and reds. There's already tropical storm force winds and low hurricane force winds. In addition to that, Tornadoes breaking out in much of this area. In fact, a big tornado watch in effect. So it is a very rough night. Check out the latest conditions. Winds 160 miles an hour. That's sustained. There could be gusts close to 200. It's a Category 5 storm that is catastrophic in nature. Landfall expected 4 to 7 a.m. our time. And if its storm holds together, strongest storm to hit the U.S. since the 1930s. We'll be watching it throughout the evening. More on our local weather later on.
All right, Drew, thank you. Storm Team 12 coverage of Hurricane Katrina continues later in the newscast, and we will take you live to the Gulf Coast for the very latest report.
In fire season 2005, now more than 1,600 acres are scorched as the Deer Creek fire continues to burn. So far, the fire burning near Selma and Cave Junction has destroyed 5 homes and damaged 2 others. But crews have now lifted evacuation orders and people are back at home tonight. The fire started Thursday afternoon, and tonight it's about 40% contained.
Well, in eastern Oregon, about 200 people have evacuated their homes. This after the Lapine fire ripped through 125 acres and came within 400 feet of homes. At one point, it even jumped across the Deschutes River. The fire started yesterday afternoon at a nearby park, but no word yet on how it started. The Red Cross has set up a shelter for evacuated families at the Lapine Middle School.
And local firefighters set their own fires this weekend so they could practice putting out the flames. Several departments got together to train in Clackamas County. The land was donated by a homeowner. Crews say the training is important so they can stay fresh for when the real thing happens.
There is a light breeze out with wind gusts up to 18 miles an hour. The wind can shift on you at any times, and if you don't get out here and practice these type of maneuvers, you tend to forget little things like that. So that's why this is so important.
And August and September are Oregon's worst months when temperatures are hot and humidity is low. Fire crews warn people to be extra cautious during these months when lightning and campfires and barbecues can cause extra threats. Fields of dry grass like this are particularly vulnerable. Be sure to stay with Fox 12 for continuing coverage of fire season 2005. We will have the latest tomorrow on Good Day Oregon and then back here on the 10 o'clock news. One person is dead tonight after what police think was a drunk driving wreck. It happened last night on Northeast St. John's Road in Vancouver. The crash involved 3 cars. Deputies say one of the drivers was killed on impact. Another person had to be pulled from one of the cars. A family of 5 in the 3rd car escaped injury. Tonight, traffic homicide teams are still investigating, and they do say alcohol was involved.
The battle between Nike and the city of Beaverton heads to court tomorrow. Nike is demanding access to the city's computer archive, but the mayor of Beaverton calls the move retaliation and harassment. Nike fears the city plans to annex the shoe company's compound. A hearing on the issue is scheduled for tomorrow morning. In news from around the Northwest tonight, a slumber party turns deadly when someone opens fire on a group of teens, killing 1. KPTV's Nicole Sanchez has the story.
Deputies want to know why the teen was killed, and so does the family who lives at this house.
I don't know what happened, I don't know what's wrong.
Savone Chia is too scared to sleep at her house tonight. These bullet holes left in her basement window only tell part of the trauma her son experienced early Sunday morning at his sleepover.
Yeah, I really upset, is that when he died, he really good guy,
The 15-year-old teen killed was one of 3 friends her son had over. Deputies say the teens had just gone to bed when all of a sudden someone fired several shots through this back window. A sound neighbors say was unmistakably gunshots.
It was fired very rapid. They were shot very rapidly, almost fast as they could pull the trigger.
Chia was at work when it happened and was shocked to hear the news. She had known the victim for 10 years. Her son is too upset to talk with us. Family friends say he isn't even saying much to them.
He just kept quiet, so I asked him, but he kind of like, if I have one word, he's talking to me one word, that's all. He don't say anything.
And deputies not saying much tonight either. So far, they say they have no suspects and they are not releasing the victim's name. Reporting near Burien, Washington, Nicole Sanchez, the 10 o'clock news.
The hunt continues in Bellingham for a murder suspect who's posing as an FBI agent. Yesterday, cops found 2 men shot to death in their apartment. They think the suspect posed as an FBI agent to get inside the house. He's described as a white man in his late 40s, about 5'9" to 6 feet tall, and was last seen wearing a black FBI baseball cap. But cops say the suspect is not an actual federal agent.
The old headquarters for the Aryan Nations is up for sale tonight. The former Hayden, Idaho home of the white supremacy group will be sold at an auction next week. Experts say the group's popularity in the region is declining. This is the first time in 25 years they did not hold their World Congress and Parade in northern Idaho.
Now here's something you don't see every day. A couple in Kent, Washington celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary this weekend. That's right, 7-0. Floyd and Marie Milston celebrated with their very large family. The couple has 40 grandchildren, over 100 great-grandchildren, and 9 great-great-grandchildren. So what's their secret to a long, happy life together?
You get married for 5 years, 10 years, and then it's over. You just go on till you're dead and gone, you know, and you go through all the poor part, and the good part, and the happy part, and the sad part, and that's the way it is.
And there is a little bit more to it. The happy couple also confesses to another secret to living a happy life: lots of beer and bacon.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
Coming up, a deadly day in the fight for Iraq. Why witnesses say U.S. troops are to blame for the deaths of journalists this weekend.
The big buzz about the population boom of wasps in Oregon. Why so many stinging insects are heading for your neighborhood.
Opening up your carpool lanes is not going to solve traffic problems.
Controversy in the Northwest as a major city decides to get rid of its commuter lanes. The latest on the HOV hoopla.
Violent, dirty, and downright bloody. Why the sport of cage fighting is catching on across the country and what's being done to stop it.
We haven't had any problem with it. We haven't had any side effects or anything like that.
The splendid effects of Splenda. More products are using the sugar substitute, but is it safe?
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
No matter what time you get up in the morning.
Good Day Oregon is on with 12 on 12. Your complete look at news, weather, and traffic in just 12 minutes.
Weekdays from 5 to 9 on Fox 12 Oregon.
Since we introduced the Ford Family Plan, hundreds of thousands of Americans have joined in on the savings. Now we're extending the plan until September 6th. Get employee pricing on F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, including F-150, the highest-ranked light-duty full-size pickup in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Now get F-150 with our employee pricing of just $27,516 and get $2,500 cash back. You pay just $25,016 for a new Ford F-150. No hassles. Visit your local Northwest Ford store today.
Time is running away again. Tick tock, tick tick tock, no time to wait or contemplate.
Comcast high-speed internet. Faster than DSL, so music, photos, everything downloads in an instant. And we just keep getting faster. So you can do more online. It's one more reason more people across America choose Comcast. Call today for this great offer.
A toddler is killed after finding her grandmother's gun, and it's what Grandma did for a living that makes the story even tougher to take. Tonight on the 10 o'clock news. First, live local.
Craving a little meat with your greens? Then come to Wendy's, where you can have the best of both with our 3 delicious new salads, like Asiago peppercorn steak, Southwest taco, or chicken Caesar. They're more than just rabbit food. Do Wendy's. Do what tastes right.
Okay, here's all I know. I'm Mr. Opportunity. That little beauty is a Civic, and Honda is having a clearance. So let's connect the dots. You pick the coupe, sedan, or hybrid you want. Honda offers you a great deal, and I keep my job. Hey, I may be animated, but it seems like a sweet deal to me. The 2005 Honda Clearance. Now you can lease a Civic Value Package for $159 a month for well-qualified customers at where? Yeah, your Honda dealer. I'm Mr. Opportunity. I'm back, and I'm still knocking.
Maximum security prison.
Why won't you let me help you?
Michael Schofield is going in for one reason.
Michael.
To get his brother out.
I'm getting you out of here. It's impossible. Not if you design the place, it isn't.
Prison Break. Monday at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon.
In the fight for Iraq tonight, Iraqi leaders finally hammer out a constitution, but not everyone is happy about it. Sunni parliament members shot down the latest draft, a setback to the U.S. strategy to cut down on rebel attacks. The major contention for Sunni Arabs is their desire to have a strong centralized government. The Shiite and Kurd majorities like the idea of a loose federation of states. A journalist is dead and another hurt after Iraqi police say the crew was shot at by American troops. 35-year-old Walid Khaled, a soundman for Reuters TV, was shot at least 4 times in the chest. A Reuters cameraman was shot in the back but survived. He says an American sniper shot at them from the rooftop of a building. The U.S. military says the shootings happened during a raid of suspected terrorists.
But sometimes mistakes are made, and when they are made, we investigate and then report on our findings.
The U.S. military says a full investigation is underway. They are questioning the cameraman who survived.
Well, they spent a year fighting the war on terror in Afghanistan, but tonight some Oregon soldiers are back home. Members of the 41st Infantry Brigade were honored today at Chinook Winds Casino in Lincoln City. The 17 Oregon National Guard soldiers were not only the center of a welcome home ceremony, they also helped rededicate the American Veterans Desert Storm Memorial.
It just kind of mushroomed into the whole community, standing up and saying we want to make sure our soldiers come home in style. And we have just had the most wonderful time of our lives.
Now, local businesses donated $3,000 in lodging, meals, and concert tickets for the big celebration.
In news across America tonight, a deadly standoff in New York State. A bank robber who held 4 people hostage for several hours killed himself before he could be arrested. Police say they found the man dead when they went inside the bank. The hostages left safely and were not hurt. A Florida freeway is closed for hours after a series of serious car crashes. A loaded diesel tanker truck flipped upside down in a heavy downpour, killing the driver. Several cars lost control while trying to avoid the truck. One child was seriously hurt in the accidents. Investigators say speed is to blame. People were driving way too fast when the downpour hit, causing the pileup.
A 4-year-old girl accidentally shoots herself with a gun she found in her grandmother's closet. The grandmother, a Dallas police officer, called 911 when her 4-year-old granddaughter shot herself in the head. The girl found the service weapon in the closet. It was apparently not locked up, but stored on a high shelf. Police say the child may have climbed up to get it. An Illinois family is telling a frightening story tonight about how their home was the scene of a deadly standoff. The Sears had to run out of their house Thursday after a former Marine allegedly robbed a bank, stormed their home, and held police at bay for more than a day.
They just missed shooting my son. They shot the dog.
Well, soon after, police found the suspect in the house already dead of a self-inflicted gunshot.
A California woman is recovering tonight after getting West Nile virus. It happened at an outdoor party when she was bitten by a mosquito. What followed was a 103-degree fever, full body rash, and confusion. Doctors did not even realize she had West Nile for 2 weeks, and by then it had mostly cleared up.
See my arms? It's on my arm. It's still on my arms and a little bit on my back here.
In Oregon, West Nile has been found in mosquitoes near the Rogue River, but so far no people in the state have contracted the virus. Now, just in case, health officials say to look out for these symptoms: high fever, confusion, muscle weakness, severe headaches, and a stiff neck.
Well, police in Massachusetts are searching for a local high school teacher who may have faked having cancer. It's been over a week since anyone has seen the 27-year-old teacher, but police say she collected tens of thousands of dollars in donation money the community had raised for her alleged cancer treatment. Her landlord says he hasn't seen her, but that she did seem to have all the symptoms of someone going through chemotherapy. Many parents aren't ready to pass judgment, but say if it is true, it's appalling.
I have a family member that we did take donations for, and my son was paralyzed, and when you hear people being disingenuous like that, it's not very nice.
And police say they are still investigating the allegations. Well, there he goes. You're looking at the first person to actually fly across the U.S.-Mexico border after being shot from a cannon. David Smith Sr. also holds the record for the longest distance traveled by a human fired from a cannon. Smith flew from Mexico into California yesterday morning.
In news across the world tonight, a bomb rips through a ferry boat in the Philippines, and a warning: some of this video is graphic. Now, Now, the blast injured at least 30 people, including 9 children. The vessel, packed with over 300 passengers, was preparing to depart from an island earlier today. Authorities believe the bomb was stashed in a box filled with old clothes on the lower deck. Government officials said no one has claimed responsibility for the attack, but the al-Qaeda-linked Muslim extremist group Abu Sayyaf is a main suspect. At least 21 people are wounded in a suicide blast in southern Israel. Police say the bomber set off his bomb as security guards approached him early Saturday morning. The Palestinian Authority condemned the rush hour attack. There has been no claim of responsibility.
Well, 63 people are injured, 2 of them seriously, after a Pamplona-style running of the bulls in Spain. This town, some 10 miles north of Madrid, holds its own week-long festival every year. It's a time when folks can cut loose, running through the streets alongside bulls weighing as much as 1,300 pounds. And it is just as dangerous as it looks. Oh, an elephant in Thailand strutting her stuff with a little help. Meet Matala, a Thai elephant who attracted worldwide attention after stepping on a landmine and losing a foot 6 years ago. Today, she was fitted with a lightweight, shoe-like prosthesis. Now, once she gets used to it, she'll get a permanent one. The elephant is now a national mascot in Thailand.
Good for her.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, do wasps have you moving your picnics indoors? Well, you're not alone.
They do at our house. There's a good reason these buzzing party crashes are out in big numbers this summer here in Oregon. We'll tell you why coming up.
Also, another live look at New Orleans right now as Hurricane Katrina empties the city and promises to leave her mark. We'll go back to the Gulf Coast soon.
And here locally, it turned out to be a beautiful afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, a little bit unexpected, but we'll take it. Look live outside here this evening from the Fox Tower camera. You can't see them, but the clouds are increasing, and there still is rain on the way. We'll time out the rain and see how much we're going to get coming up.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Honey.
Huh. Mr. Brown?
Yes?
Your house has been declared a toxic waste site. Good thing I put off mowing the lawn.
Why are the Browns so happy? Because they just got a great deal at the Volkswagen Get Happy event.
And now you can too, because right now your Volkswagen dealer has great deals on all models. Like the roomier and more powerful new Jetta. So get in, get a great deal,
and get happy.
Teacher, and last year she let us dissect a frog. Cool. I get a rabbit in
Let's
my
go,
homeroom.
kids.
That's so cool. I get a
Chris.
marker, more recess, go on 5.
Ready for school? Good thing Walmart's got all the coolest clothes for back to school at their always low prices. So you can get your kids off to the right start.
Hey! Oh, come on.
Wouldn't it be great having a smaller waist? According to a study, dairy foods rich in calcium, like Yoplait yogurt, could help you lose more weight than just cutting calories alone, especially around your waistline.
I haven't to worry, I haven't to care. I feel like a feather that's floating on air. I'm fit as a fiddle and feeling so good.
Yoplait. Lose weight, gain a waist.
Still tonight, too, it makes the Fox 12 final cut. It's a controversy that's kicking, punching, and slapping its way into popular culture, the scrap over cage fighting.
Suge Knight gets shot, a random act of violence, or the latest round in a rapper feud.
And Art Full of Air. It's an exhibit meant to take the edge off a Portland construction project. We'll take you there in the final cut.
Bedmart is liquidating the entire local mattress inventory of a national department store chain. Save hundreds of dollars on brand name mattresses right now while supplies last, only at Bedmart.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
I'll take the red one, please.
Dad!
Treat yourself to the best values of the year at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event at Lexus of Portland.
Bedmart will beat any competitor's price by 20% on a comparable mattress, or it's free. You can save $200, $300, $400 and more on your next mattress at Bedmart.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Many people around the Northwest are discovering more wasps and yellow jackets out there in the area.
Spiders, too, but that's a whole other story. But turns out there's good reason for the buzz. KPTV's Mark Glazewski has details tonight.
The sight of yellow jackets traditionally signals the height of summer, but Mike Dotter spotted something more sinister hidden in a tree outside his Staten duplex.
There was some bees buzzing around and just noticed the big paper wad up there and said, I'm moving away from that.
Many people had no idea a basketball-sized paper wasp nest had moved into the neighborhood.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty big nest.
Like, never seen it before. Live in the neighborhood and it's crazy.
Several of our customers have actually gotten stung many, many times before they even notice a nest.
Exterminator Ed Pacheco gets as many as 6 calls a day from people making similar discoveries in the Salem area.
This nest has probably been up there for at least 3 to 4 months.
Experts blame the mild winter for increasing the wasp population this summer. Pacheco spotted a pair of wasps guarding the entrance to the nest.
If you start messing around with them, they immediately will go in, let the other ones know, and then they'll come right out.
Pacheco says if that happens, you better have a good pair of running shoes on. After spraying the nest, Pacheco estimated about 100 wasps lived inside. The sight gave some relief to Mike Dotter, whose son is allergic to bees.
Better safe than sorry, I figure.
In Staten, Mark Glazewski, the 10 o'clock news.
Okay, that's a lot worse than what I had to deal with. But exterminators say paper wasps can build nests virtually anywhere, even underground.
Don't envy that guy's job at all.
Not at all.
Hey, well, last night we talked about the big return of big rain to the Northwest.
Yeah, didn't see it yet, Drew, but there might be some on the way.
It's just running a little bit late, just a little bit late. Take a look at the pinpoint radar here. We'll zoom up to the north. Plenty of rain falling in western Washington. We're still going to get rain. We'll talk about when it's going to get here and the latest on what's happening down near New Orleans coming up.
Mount St. Helens continues to make news tonight. Found out why its most recent activity is blurring scientists' view.
And a tree with roots as old as the Oregon Trail is coming down. Why the developer says its time has come.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Thrill seekers, bargain hunters, unite. The Mitsubishi Summer Thrill Ride clearance is here. Now for a limited time, buy any new 2005 Mitsubishi car or SUV and never pay interest. Get 0% APR for 60 months on all 2005 Mitsubishis and save thousands in finance charges compared to a typical car loan. Only at Mitsubishi, driven to thrill.
Whoa. Hey, buddy.
Yeah?
I want to buy a car.
Oh, what?
$20. Your little precious baby wax.
Seriously?
$20. Come on, $20.
All right. 20. Oh, man.
No matter what stage you're at in life, there's a Wells Fargo nearby to help. Get more than free checking. Get to your next stage.
All eyes are on the Big Easy, and the eye of Hurricane Katrina bears down. We'll take you there for the latest on the storm and the mass exodus out on the 10 o'clock news. First, live local.
Who built these wind turbines and the hundreds more that have followed? The way I see it, it's the thousands of PGE customers who've signed up for renewable energy options. It's your demand that's creating supply and working toward a cleaner, healthier Oregon. So thanks, and keep it up, because this isn't really about wind power. It's a story about the power of choice.
Renewable power options. Enroll at portlandgeneral.com.
Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
This segment of the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by Jack in the Box.
Looks like the Chrysler Group has done it again. They have their most award-winning and freshest lineup ever. They have 12 vehicles with 5-star frontal crash test ratings. and their vehicles are projected to retain their value better than GM or Ford. You know what's missing?
A great deal.
Get Employee Pricing Plus on remaining 2005 Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge models.
It's like you always used to say, Grandpa.
If you can find a better car, buy it.
That's my girl.
Mount St. Helens is on the move yet again. 2 small earthquakes were reported overnight. It's also getting a little harder to see the mountain. Geologists say rock falls from the west crater wall and new lava dome are producing dusty conditions inside the crater. That's also making larger earthquakes more likely. Experts continue to watch the mountain's progress closely and warn the situation could change at any time.
Well, tonight, Hurricane Katrina, the storm that could be the deadliest in American history, is headed for New Orleans. Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama are bracing for ferocious winds and massive flooding. And we've just learned Katrina is already having deadly effects. KPTV's Doug Lazader joins us live from Gulfport, Mississippi tonight with the latest. Doug, how's it looking out there?
Well, it's picking up quite a bit. Communities around here are really bracing for what will be a very long night and almost certainly an even longer morning as the storm begins to work its way ashore. We are seeing some rain now, and the wind is really kicking up. It's just a hint of what Katrina is threatening to do. It's expected to be one of the worst storms in American history. Winds are ferocious, and there could be massive flooding. All along the Gulf Coast, people have been told to flee their homes, and tens of thousands have been stuck in traffic. And people without cars or the money to travel tried getting into local public shelters along the coast. One of them, the Superdome in New Orleans. The stadium can house 70,000 people, and it could be packed because forecasters say by Monday, these streets could be under more than 20 feet of water. New Orleans is so vulnerable because it's below sea level. The Mississippi River on one side, Lake Pontchartrain on the other. The city's levees could fail, and it could be a catastrophe.
When the winds do pick up, get really, really bad, you need to get into, a closet or a hallway or a stairwell, put a mattress over you if you need to protect your life.
And we are hearing some reports right now of 3 deaths that are being blamed on the storm. This was apparently a bus accident. This was a bus leaving New Orleans, heading for Baton Rouge. We don't have too many details, but we are hearing that 3 people were killed. And that is the latest live here from Gulfport, Mississippi. I'm Doug Lazader, the 10 o'clock news.
And I imagine, Drew, it's probably pretty chaotic, everybody trying at once, to get out of there, that mass exodus out.
That was yesterday and today. As of this point, those folks down there, if they haven't left,
better be gone,
they
right?
can't. They can't leave now. There's a curfew in effect. It's time to hunker down, and there's going to be a lot of folks who are going to be sitting in a corner, wondering how long these 14 hours are going to take to really go by.
It's kind of a long waiting process.
It's a very long process. We talk about landfalls being a specific point in time, but the way these things work is they're so big. The weather's nasty for just a really prolonged period of time. And here's a look at the satellite picture here. Past 12 hours, this is just a monster of a storm, and it is hard to find on record a hurricane more classically well-organized, more textbook than this one. The eye, perfectly round. The clouds wrapping around that eye, totally concentric, we call it. Looks like a complete donut. And this is indicative of the strongest type of weather that Mother Nature can create, and it is headed immediately towards New Orleans. Here's a look at the radar now. As I mentioned, this is a long process here. It has been raining and raining hard for several hours already. The winds are just now nearing hurricane force, and the eye of the storm is still 100 or 200 miles offshore. Now, I put together our forecast model here, and this is kind of like a future radar, if you will, and we could track it through the night as the eye of the storm makes landfall tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow afternoon, it's just moving past New Orleans, so this is not going to be a quick mover. And then as it continues to track towards the north through Mississippi, takes most of the rain with it. And by Tuesday morning, this is very typical, the day after a major storm like this blows through, it ends up being a very nice and sunny day. And that will probably be the first we actually hear of what happened. We'll get the first sense of the kind of hell on earth that those folks have gone through. Probably not until Tuesday. We're not going to hear much from there tomorrow just because everyone's going to be so bunkered down. All right, we'll talk about this map in a moment, but I want to talk about what it looks like outside here at the moment in the Portland area. Willamette River, a quiet night. Things are about to change, though. I thought that change was going to happen today, and I'll explain that to you here on the maps. And at the moment, there's some cool air up to the north, and it is bringing some rain as well. So on Storm Team 12 real-time radar, the rain is to the north. Now I'll go back to the other map, and I'll show you the setup here. Cool pocket of air, mainly in the middle and upper levels of the atmosphere. It is going to continue to slide on in here. It's taking a little longer to get here. That's why we ended up having the sunshine and a pretty nice day. But tomorrow, the pocket of cool air is going to be right over the top of us. That means showers. It's unstable. The clouds will really billow up, and there's a good chance some of those clouds can be strong enough to produce some heavy showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon. On the clouds and rain forecast, tomorrow morning about 9:30, just some light scattered showers, but mostly cloudy. Look what happens by later in the afternoon. Well, there it went on by, but there'll be plenty of showers later in the afternoon. Then it looks like we'll just stay partly cloudy, but dry as the time Tuesday rolls around. So tomorrow, a little bit of a wet day, but the only one in the next 7, it seems, at this point. So we'll call it showers, sun breaks, perhaps a thunderstorm along the coast, with temperatures for the most part between 60 and 65 for high temperatures tomorrow. Getting close to 70 tomorrow in the Willamette Valley. Some sun breaks, but also some showers. Some could be locally heavy with thunder, lightning, maybe even some small hail possible in the mix. Now, central and eastern Oregon, you were in the 90s today, especially east. Much different story tomorrow. Windy and cool. Bend only 68, the Dalles 73. Low 70s out east where it was in the low 90s today. And it will be quite windy, especially through the gorge where the winds will howl at 20 to 30, gusting over 40. Showers, sun breaks, maybe a thunderstorm in the Cascades. Look at the snow level. Dropping to 6,000 feet. Could be a wet dusting of snow for a brief time at Timberline Lodge tomorrow with highs only in the low 40s. All right, Portland metro area. Actually, these numbers look very much like what they were supposed to look like today. But we'll only be in the upper 60s to near 70 tomorrow afternoon with the clouds, the showers, and a few sun breaks. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast. 68 tomorrow in Portland, maybe a thunderstorm. As we head into Tuesday, rebounding to 74, Wednesday all the way to 78, and perhaps 80 on Thursday. But then we're back to some clouds and sunshine mixed with highs in the mid-70s as we head towards next weekend. But no rain in sight after tomorrow. Andy Carson will keep you posted not only on our pinpoint forecast, but with what's going on with Katrina tomorrow morning on Good Day Oregon beginning at 5.
Next in the final cut, putting the brakes on carpool lanes. Why one Northwest city is giving commuters more room to drive. It's the driving force behind low-sugar sweets. Why more and more people are saying Splenda is splendid. Plus, people are driving hundreds of miles to witness cage fighting matches. How the violent and bloody sport is beating more than just the odds. Next on the 10 o'clock news. First Live Local.
Gear up for the biggest event of the season. The Toyota Time Clearance event is on now. When it comes to deals like these, everyone wins. That's moving you forward.
And it looks as if the dairy cows are waiting for the bears to make the first move.
Fat chance. Look at the glassy-eyed determination on the faces of those bears. They aren't going to waste any energy at all. They are masters of quiet fun.
So it appears to be a test of will and a test of reflexes. They've each captured one event coming into this. The cows easily winning the grazing competition and the bears sweeping the Kids' Choice event.
There's so much fun competing for your attention at the Oregon State Fair.
Do you own a truck or SUV? Then you need to know about Kelly Tires. Take their Safari Trex. It's built to be rugged enough to get you where you're going off-road and give you a smooth ride on the highway. Kelly is all the tire you need. Stop by Tire Factory now during Kelly Month and save on a set of Kelly Safari Trex, SUVs, or MSRs for your rig. Tire Factory. Always the right tires for the way you drive, the best warranty, and expert service. Trust what you love to Tire Factory.
This moment made possible by a broken elevator. The corner coffee shop. 6 dozen emails. Backgammon, thunderstorms, tilt-a-whirls, a Labrador puppy, the father of the bride, and a hometown helpful bank.
Forget the fall-apart fakes. Now, if you want a Gucci purse, be ready to shell out the big bucks for the real thing, because cops are knocking out knockoffs. Next in the final cut.
What's that breeze?
That's our TV. It sucks.
It sucks? Yeah, the bill, customer service, sucks big time.
Gosh, that sucks. Oh, it totally sucks. Your TV doesn't suck?
No, we have Dish Network. Saves tons of money. Service is way better.
And we got a free DVR. Maybe we should get Dish Network.
Join today and get 25 movie channels free, plus 1 month free service. Dish Network. Better TV for all.
Since 1997, Target has donated over $139 million to schools across the nation. Now through September the 10th, every time you use your red card at Target, the contribution to the K-12 school of your choice is double. Apply for your red card at Target today.
Since we introduced the Ford Family Plan, hundreds of thousands of Americans have joined in on the savings. Now we're extending the plan until September 6th. Get the same low prices Ford employees pay for America's most popular line of SUVs. Family pricing on Ford Explorer, America's best-selling, most trusted SUV. Now get a Ford Explorer with employee pricing for only $24,414. Save over $8,000 on the #1 selling SUV in the Northwest. No hassles, no gimmicks. Visit your local Northwest Ford store today.
Hey, what kind of burrito are you?
Spinach, tortilla, chicken.
I like
Mondo beef.
Super pork.
Chicken.
chicken.
Get your Mondo made-to-order burrito at Taco Del Mar today.
My burrito, my way at Taco Del Mar.
The final cut in 3, 2, 1, cue 'em.
In tonight's Final Cut, driving solo in Seattle. Lawmakers in Washington are getting rid of the Emerald City's HOV lanes in an attempt to ease congestion. But critics think it's a terrible idea, and more cars will just end up in traffic on the highway. KPTV's Dan Springer reports.
Motorists have had a love-hate relationship with carpool lanes for 20 years. Now those stuck in the slow lane are cheering because Washington State, for the first time, eliminated the HOV restrictions on one of its busiest highways.
What took them so long to do this?
Seattle talk show host John Carlson has heard the complaints for years. HOV lanes take valuable highway space, and everyone pays for them while they only help the few who carpool or take the bus. Environmentalists say the inconvenience is good for the planet.
Opening up your carpool lanes is not going to solve traffic problems for the people who are stuck on the freeway. What it's going to do is eliminate the choice for bus riders and carpoolers to have a reliable alternative to being stuck in that traffic.
Carpool lanes are deemed a success by transportation officials if they move more people than regular lanes during rush hour and if they cut commute times for those who are able to carpool. But commuter groups argue that they actually increase congestion by taking away up to 1/3 of available space. State highway officials worry that eliminating carpool lanes will remove the best motivation to keep extra cars off the road.
If all of the people who are using carpools, van pools, or taking the bus now were instead driving as single-occupant drivers, congestion would be far worse.
They are embracing HOV lanes, not because they work, but because it's become an ideology. It's become an article of faith.
There are 3,000 miles of carpool lane in the U.S., 4 times as much as there was a decade ago. But over the same period, the percentage of solo drivers on the road actually went up. Evidence critics say that highway planning and social engineering ought to go their separate ways. In Seattle, Dan Springer, Fox News.
And it's a different story here in the Rose City. Right now, Portland's HOV lanes are staying put.
Well, a tree that got its start from a seed that traveled the Oregon Trail is now no more. A Salem developer began cutting down this black walnut over the weekend. The tree, estimated to be over 125 years old, is in the way of a future development. Now, many residents are upset by the decision and tried to save the tree, but the developer who owns the land says the tree was sick. They began cutting off branches this weekend and will finish chopping it down tomorrow.
Designer handbags are all the rage these days, but they can cost a fortune. Well, now the imitations can cost you too. Police in Italy are cracking down on street vendors selling fake designer purses, chasing out the vendors and charging people who buy the knockoffs hefty fines, up to $4,000. So that $40 imitation could end up costing you even more than the real thing.
I feel bad for the sellers because that's the only job they have. But it's true that they shouldn't do it. It's a crime to do these imitations.
But tourists still come looking for bargains, and the knockoff street versions cost just a fraction of the real thing they see in store windows. So it remains unclear just how long the crackdown will last.
Well, the low-carb craze may be on its way out, but one product that gained much of its popularity from the diet is still going strong. And so far, people who are introducing carbs back into their diets are continuing to use their sugar alternative, Splenda. KPTV's Shauna Parsons reports.
Soda, fruit juices, and yes, even some of your favorite desserts all contain a similar product called Splenda.
I like drinking soda, and so I switched to the Pepsi Edge with Splenda, and it's got about half the calories, but it doesn't have the aftertaste that diet pops do.
The sugar alternative gained much of its popularity from the low-carb diet, but it's also popular in the diabetic community. That's because it has a similar taste to sugar, and it doesn't increase blood sugar levels. Health experts say it's good for people trying to cut calories, too. Compared with sugar, a teaspoon of Splenda has 0 calories, while sugar has about 15. But it also has its downfalls.
People who drink a lot of diet soft drinks or a lot of even regular soft drinks don't drink much milk, and our calcium intake as a population has declined significantly.
Health experts also say it has few side effects, making it a popular choice among consumers.
We haven't had any problem with it. We haven't had any side effects or anything like that.
But not everyone agrees.
I don't like the taste.
So whether you like Splenda or prefer real sugar, dietitians say everything should be taken in moderation, even if it has lower calories. Shauna Parsons, the 10 o'clock news.
Well, the price of Splenda varies depending on where you buy it. And one more note, dietitians say there's nothing wrong with eating a little bit of sugar.
The largest World War II ceremony in the country has been going on all weekend in Vancouver. Vancouver is one of only 6 cities chosen by the Department of Defense to hold the ceremonies meant to honor the end of the war 60 years ago. Today, veterans were presented with badges and pins recognizing their service. It was a chance to pay tribute to the soldiers who fought for the U.S.
I've cried through this, so I enjoy it. It meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to my wife after 57 years.
And the ceremony wasn't just for World War II vets. All U.S. veterans and soldiers currently serving overseas were honored throughout the weekend.
Hollywood is buzzing tonight about the violent start to the MTV Video Music Awards. Early this morning, rap mogul Suge Knight was shot in the leg at a Miami party celebrating the awards. Doctors say Knight will need surgery. The bullet fractured his femur. Police say they don't know why the shooting happened, but they are looking into it. Country singer Minnie McCready isn't crooning tonight after a Florida judge ordered her held without bond for violating her probation on drug charges out of Tennessee. It's the singer's second probation violation. Police say she'll be extradited back to Tennessee.
Now in the final cut, a violent new form of entertainment that's hitting rural America. Cage fighting consists of punching, kicking, or whatever it takes to hurt your opponent. The so-called sport is sparking tons of controversy tonight. KPTV's Jeff Goldblatt reports.
Next one. Watch your finger. That's good. It starts out the day in pieces. A few hours later, the fighters inside this cage try tearing their opponents to pieces.
As long as I get the win, it don't matter what I gotta do to do it.
Bite them?
No. Nope, can't do that.
Kick them?
Yes.
Yeah. Gouge your eyes out?
Can't do that. Can't do it, but I would.
Known on the street as cage fighting, extreme fighting, or mixed martial arts, it features a combination of wrestling, boxing, and jiu-jitsu. The goal? Either knock out your opponent or choke them into submission. That's it, stop.
These kids are gutsy. I mean, it takes a lot of balls to climb in that cage and fight another human being for no apparent reason.
But it's very violent, and somebody is going to get hurt seriously. Somebody's going to get killed or maimed very seriously.
So far, no one has in the U.S., but it may be only a matter of time, given the lack of rules and regulations at the lowest level of this combat sport.
The only rules there really is in the state of Iowa is no hitting behind the head, no hitting in the kidney, no slamming of the elbow if the person is down.
19 states do have a set of unified rules for professional mixed martial arts fights, but they seem to seldom apply to amateur contests.
The promoter is advertising these as no holds barred, no rules, anything goes. And that's a big problem.
Hey, hands off the cage! There are approximately 10 states where the Athletic Commission regulates amateur fights. The other states either flat out ban it, but that's just a handful of states, or the Athletic Commission has no jurisdiction, which means no state oversight, and promoters have the responsibility of keeping their fights clean. But do they?
You need a lot more control. You guys don't need to get hurt now. I mean, once you get hurt, you're done forever.
That's it.
I would rather see people fighting in our cage rather than the streets or a bar.
What's not in dispute is the growing popularity of contests like this one, often held in bars and arenas, in small cities and towns nationwide. Tonight, we had our choice of fights we were invited to cover. On other weekend nights, promoters say things would be no different. The interest has forced states to take a hard look inside the cage. Those who see a money-making opportunity are pushing for regulation, while others view it as a vicious form of entertainment and want to ban it. In Fort Dodge, Iowa, Jeff Goldblatt, Fox News.
By the way, cage fighting is legal in Oregon, and you know I'm training to be a cage fighter.
Well, they might not be the biggest hounds out there, but size doesn't matter when it comes to speed. This weekend, New York is hosting one of the trials for the first annual Chihuahua contest. There they go. These notorious DOGs are all trying to lick the competition and win a trip to the finals in San Diego.
Today she wasn't motivated and she was a bit off of her game, and she did not win the race. In fact, she just sort of turned around and sat down.
And when it was over, this 4-pound monster of a Chihuahua was the winner. His name is Snoop Dogg, and his trainer is just 5 years old. There she is, and she says he's fast because of carbo loading. I don't know, that never works for me. And that's Fox 12's Final Cut for tonight.
I'm Tim Becker. Ahead in sports, a tight field stays that way right to the finish, where it takes a playoff to determine a winner at the Jeld-Wen tradition. I'll have a recap of that. And the Mariners feast on their ex-teammates pitching today at Safeco. That and more when we come back.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Quest super-fast high-speed internet and 100% digital quality TV are the better choice in entertainment. It's time to leave cable behind. Get Quest dedicated high-speed internet with the best in security from MSN Premium and DirecTV service with 100% digital quality on every channel. All for only $58.98 a month. You can't get all that from cable. Call Quest today at 1-866-4BEST-FOR-YOU. That's our spirit of service.
Comcast high-speed internet. Faster than DSL, so music, photos, everything downloads in an instant. And we just keep getting faster. So you can do more online. It's one more reason more people across America choose Comcast. Call today for this great offer.
Some little athletes get a serious taste of the big leagues in a nail-biting finish. Highlights from the Little League World Series coming up on the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
This segment of the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by Jeep.
You asked me to do some research on the Chrysler Group?
I'm waiting.
They have their most award-winning and freshest lineup ever. 12 vehicles with 5-star frontal crash test rating and projected to retain their value better than GM or Ford.
Yada, yada, yada. You forgot the most important part of all, the deal.
Get Employee Pricing Plus on remaining 2005 Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge models.
So I'd say if you can find a better car, buy it.
Couldn't have said it better myself, kid.
Welcome back. We saw the pendulum swing drastically today in the final round of the Jeld-Wen tradition at Aloha, where of all things a bogey won the tournament in a sudden death playoff. Dana Quigley owned the back nine, taking a 3-shot lead on the field with this eagle on 16. But Lauren Roberts came charging hard the last few holes. First the birdie on 17, then on 18. Another one to force a playoff between the two golfers, tied at 15 under par. Second playoff hole, after missing a par putt for the win, Quigley lipped out the short bogey, and that opened the door for Roberts. He just has to tap it in, and that's a bogey to win it all. Just his third seniors event ever, and he pockets $375,000.
You know, I had good tempo all day, and I was happy to birdie the last two coming to the house. I mean, it was just huge. The 17 was the whole tournament for me, really, because I needed to have birdie to even think about having a chance. You know, the golf course bit back a little bit today. Obviously, it played a little tougher, and I was able to put a good score up.
You know, we saw Lauren Roberts make birdie on 17 and 18. He banged them both in there to come up and tie me. So, you know, I had the lead. That just goes Yogi's expression. It's not over till it's over.
Tell you what, don't feel too bad for Quigley. He still pockets $220 grand. Gil Morgan missed the playoff by a stroke. And other notables, Corvallis' Bob Gilder finishes 6 under. 3 shots better than defending champ Craig Stadler, and Peter Jacobsen finishes at 1 over. Extra innings on the PGA Tour also. Brad Faxon beating Jart Vandervalt with a birdie on the first playoff hole there to win the Buick Championship. At Safeco Field today, the Mariners were hosting their old friend Freddie Garcia, and his second trip back to Seattle turned into his shortest outing of the year. 1-all tie, bottom of the first. Garcia puts the pitch right into the dirt. Willie Bloomquist scores from third. Garcia now leads the league with 17 wild pitches. Vancouver's Richie Sexton left the game with a blurred vision in his right eye. His replacement, Dave Hansen, promptly steps up with a solo homer in the 5th. One of 8 runs Garcia gives up on 11 hits. Mariners beat the White Sox 9-2. At PGE Park, Portland's Ben Johnson hits a grand slam and another 3-run homer. 7 RBIs for him to lead the Beavers to an 11-1 rout of Las Vegas. A talent show broke out before today's championship game at the Little League World Series. It was Curaçao taking on Hawaii. Hawaii trailed 6-3 with 2 innings to go, but here's Alakai Aglape beating the throw to first. Zach Rosette scored. That tied the game. So we head to the final inning, tied at 6. And Michael Mamea creating a memory that will stay with him the rest of his life, a walk-off homer to win the whole shooting match at the Little League World Series. Hawaii over Curaçao 7-6. And finally, Dan Antoniuk scores 2 goals, both of them for Portland, in a 2-1 win over the Silverbacks in Atlanta. Timber's going to stay back east to prepare for another road game next Friday at Virginia Beach. I think they're going to steer clear of any hurricanes.
Yeah, that'd be
Virginia
good.
Beach, right? Let's hope so.
Yeah.
That kid from Hawaii, the coolest kid in school, for
Oh
sure.
my gosh, forever.
That's right.
Tim, thanks. Right now, we're going to go to a live shot we have from New Orleans. I believe our news partner, WVUE, of course, everyone there bracing for Hurricane Katrina. And Drew, you've been tracking this all day.
Yeah, and actually, Andy's going to be talking about it much tomorrow morning on Good Day Oregon. Those pictures you see right now very well could be some of the last ones we see here. New Orleans pretty much about to go dark as the storm bearing down on the city right now. Tomorrow, we're not going to have a whole lot of information from New Orleans itself in the morning, so we'll have to look at the radar and get more information after the storm passes. But it's going to be a very, very difficult 24 hours here coming up.
And we're just seeing the very beginning of it, right? It could take several hours.
It's still a good 8 to 10 hours away from reaching its peak intensity in New Orleans. But meantime, our forecast here, quick look. Showers tomorrow, 68, but then drying and warming with some more sunshine by the middle of the week.
All right, Drew, thanks.
And that's it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget Good Day Oregon tomorrow from 5 to 9 a.m.
Thank you for watching the 10 o'clock news on Fox 12 Oregon, rated Portland's #1 late-night newscast. And for overnight developments, wake up to Good Day Oregon tomorrow morning, your first live and local source for news, weather, and traffic from 5 to 9. Fox Monday. Escape is just the beginning.
I'm getting you out of here.
Prison Break, Monday at 8 on Fox 12 Oregon.
It's Hyundai summer clearance, so save the dates to save big, like up to $4,000 cash back on select models. Days are flying by to save on models across the lot, like the V6 Hyundai Santa Fe. And don't forget, Hyundai's award-winning quality lets us offer America's best warranty. So circle the dates for up to $4,000 cash back. Don't miss this once-a-year opportunity at Hyundai. Hyundai summer clearance is in its final days. Now's your last chance for up to $4,000 cash back.
We're talking with folks about Standard's wide selection.
We actually came to Standard because they had everything here to look at. There are almost too many choices.
It was kind of overwhelming, the selection that they have here.
It's my dad's style of store. Low prices, big selection.
They have a great selection, so you've got a lot of choices that are going to work within your budget.
Come to Standard TV and Appliance. It's the best place.
The best selection in town. That's Standard TV and Appliance.
There's a shooting star.
Let's both make a wish. Yes!
Wish you had a Subway sub, like the new barbecue steak and Monterey cheddar cheese sub, delicious strips of steak, barbecue sauce, and hot bubbly cheese. Subway, eat fresh.
Having a party?
Or having friends over for the big game? Why not order one of Subway restaurants' delicious giant subs? Or a Subway sandwich platter. Freshen up your party with Subway subs. Subway, eat fresh.
Just who is the perfect look customer? Let's take a look at the crowded hair care marketplace. At one end of the spectrum are the quickie haircuts, where low prices are achieved through speed and volume. On the other, expensive boutiques. Strategically located between them, Perfect Look's superb stylists provide high-quality haircuts, perms, and color for the entire family. Practical, yet stylish. A little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, metaphorically speaking. Perfect Look, be good to your hair.
Watch out! I think there's a pitfall up ahead!
Selling your home.
Treat yourself to the best values of the year at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event at Lexus of Portland.
Dairy Queen's had all white meat chicken strips for about 20 years now. In fact, they even use whole tenderloins, the most tender part of the chicken. Something certain others don't do and don't want you to know. But that's what gives DQ strips that great classic taste. Served with golden fries, rich gravy, and tenders. Toast.
Feared by competitors, loved by customers. The original and the new DQ Chili Lime Chicken Strip Basket. And finish off with a new double fudge cookie dough blizzard treat.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I live the Army values. I will never
accept defeat.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough.
I am a professional.
I am a professional.
I am the guardian of freedom
And the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am the Army National Guard.
Defend freedom. In the Army National Guard, you can. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.
K2 News.